with Noko. And in this video, we're going to go over some tips that you can use if you have a dog that's a resource guarder. Resource guarding is a very natural behavior for dogs in the wild. They need their resources like food, bones, shelter. And so if another dog comes near them when they have the resource, they're going to growl or bare their teeth to say, hey, I want you to back away. Now, if you have a dog that resource guards, the worst thing you possibly do is physically take the thing away. Because the dog is saying, I'm baring my teeth because I'm worried you're going to take my stuff, and then you just took my stuff. You validated it. So this is one of the things that she likes to resource guard from the daughter that lives in this home. Now, when we're doing this as an exercise, if you're doing it properly, the dog should not be reacting. But we're also going to make sure that we're safe. We have the dog tethered to the couch here, so that just in case we misread things and the dog goes after it, the person is going to be safe because she doesn't have the ability to do it. But again, if you do this properly, the dog should not be growling, protesting, whining, whimpering, or anything. What we want to do is, instead of having Noko think that when somebody's coming, they're going to take my stuff, she's going to think that when this person comes, treats fall from the sky. Why would I not want that person to come? Because that means good things are happening. Now, we're going to be using this little cookie bone. This is not a milk bone, by the way. You shouldn't give your dog milk bones. They have yellow dye number 5, and it's been known to cause cancer in dogs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this up, and I'm going to give her this. I'm going to step back. She might resource guard for me. And sometimes dogs don't resource guard consistently. And a dog can guard a person, place, or a thing, essentially a noun. So if it is growling, don't try to take the thing away. If it's an emergency, you have to, but you really want to make sure the dog doesn't access that stuff, because the more you take stuff away, the more resource. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to her, and I'm going to try to lure her up here to eat it. So I'm going to go ahead and give this to her. You don't want it now. You want the other bones. Let me back away. So when the daughter comes in the room and she has the bone, that's typically when she gets into her resource guarding mode. Now, if she doesn't use this, I'll go ahead and use a bully stick. There you go. You don't want to use it for that one? Of course not. This is why they say in Hollywood you don't want to work with animals or children, because they don't listen. Make sure you're following me in that thing, though. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to step back here, and I'm going to have you wait for her to get into it. And a dog, typically, when it's giving resource guarding signals, it's going to freeze and stare and bare its lips and growl. And if you don't recognize the sounds and you keep on coming forward, that's when the lunging comes. So we'd like the dog to get into the thing before we do this. So we'll see if she does. We'll give her another second. She's licking it like an ice cream cone. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is, the first stage is you want to figure out the distance. So I'm going to have you walk up and stop about right there. Just walk towards her and watch her. Now she's staring, but she's, I think, more interested in the treats. So let's go ahead and have you walk away, and I'll kind of pantomime it. So if I am the daughter, and I walk up, and I get to this location, the dog freezes, that's the dog's way of saying that's as close as you should come. If you come any closer, I'm going to bare my teeth. You come closer, I'm going to growl. If you come any closer, I'm going to lunge. So they're saying, I don't want you to come closer, and it's just a way of communicating. We just don't know to recognize that. What we want to do is we want to walk towards the dog until the dog gives us that freeze. That's their first indicator. We're going to stop. Let's say I'm here when she freezes. Like, okay, this is as close as I could possibly get. So I'm going to turn around and walk away, and I'm going to come back. But this time I'm going to stop one step further than this and throw the dog a treat and walk away. So that's what you're going to do. Walk up to the carpet, throw a treat, and then walk away, walk over here. And just kind of ignore it. When she goes back to it, you're going to walk up to the carpet by the side of her and try to throw it so well that she doesn't have to get up this time. All right, go ahead and walk up. And toss the treat. And then walk away. Actually, let's walk that way. Go ahead and walk so you're on sight. Wait a second. She's gotten up. We're readjusting. Now, this is a good indicator. Now, she is not in a resource guarding mode right now because she's not doing the freezing. All right, go ahead and come out and stop. Take one step on the carpet. Roll the treat. And then walk back there. I'm going to have you just kind of go there, and here while I talk. So basically what we're doing is we're just teaching Noko here that when the guardian comes, good things happen. And go ahead and keep on doing it while I'm talking. Now, when you're doing this, it's good to do this after the dog's been exercised, and you gradually are going to get closer and closer. But I want to stop at the same distance for all 3 of those locations. You can also go this way as well. 3 or 4 times when I throw the treat before I then get 1 step closer. And this might take several practices before eventually I can get right up here to her, and she's happy to do it. Now, she's not guarding the resource. She actually literally left the resource and went to get the treats. But this is part of the process, and this is something that usually takes multiple practice sessions. So when she gets into that resource guarding mode, or if you're going to give her something that she's going to resource guard, I would have a leash tethered here and never give her the object unless she's tethered, so that every time she resource guards, you have an opportunity to practice and make this better. And after a while, she, like I said, starts to associate. When she approaches, it means good things instead of bad things. Now, part of this is she's a herding breed. I haven't seen it, so I can't tell if it's an actual resource guarding or if she thinks she's doing a job by protecting the daughter who lives here. But that's why we did some other things off camera to have the dog following her is a good thing. But this is a really easy exercise if you do it properly. But if the dog is a bite risk, you want to make sure you have a leash or a tether like that. But notice that there's no tension on that line. If you're ever doing this, there should never be any tension on the line. That's going to create a response or cause the dog to feel a little bit more stressed out. And so basically, this is beautiful. And so look for opportunities where your dog does it. A lot of times our dog resource guards, we're like, oh man, he's doing it again. Or she, in this case. We're like, yeah, she resource guarding. I get another opportunity to teach her that she doesn't need to guard a resource. I know I talked really loud there, didn't I? Well, this is Noko, and these are some tips that you can use if you have a dog that likes to resource guards bones, people, places, or things.